Hey guys, it's Mark with Hallmark Pool Supplies, and in this video we're going to talk about all the tools and necessary equipment that you're going to need to clean your pool. And if you guys have an above ground or an in ground, this list applies to both. Okay, so the first item on this list is a skimming net. This is what's going to attach to your pole, and this is going to allow us to skim the surface debris on the pool. There's also deep nets, as you see here. And these are actually called leaf nets. These are designed to pick up a little bit more debris or heavier debris, especially if you're scooping debris off the bottom of the pool. So there are two types of nets, and these are very important to have as a pool owner. Next, we have vacuum heads. There are brush models as well as wheel models. Now, I like using brush models because you can brush and vacuum at the same time. This is good for all surfaces, especially vinyl. If you guys want to use a wheel model, this is a little bit more for speed. There is no brushing when using a wheel model, but I would prefer to use these type cleaners on fiberglass surfaces as well as concrete, not so much vinyl, because when you use a wheel model on a vinyl pool, if the suction is too great, it can cause roller marks or wheel marks on the bottom of the pool. So as a rule, if it comes down to both, regardless of what pool you have, above ground, in ground, vinyl, concrete, or fiberglass, I prefer using the brush. Like I said before, it brushes and vacuums all at the same time. Now let's talk about floor brushes. This is an essential tool or piece of equipment that you need as a pool owner. Brushes are nice because you can brush the surface of the pool. In fact, it is recommended to brush your pool periodically. In some cases, right after you vacuum, brushing areas where the vacuum couldn't reach. You can brush the water line, the walls, in the corners, under the ladder tread, in places where it's hard to get to. So having a brush is essential as a pool owner. And just so you know, there are a lot of different grades and qualities of brushes. There is a good, better, best, and I prefer using a better quality brush like the one I'm holding in my hand because it will last longer. There are a lot of different brushes on the market, but owning a brush is very important because you're going to need it as a pool owner. Okay, so next on the list is a vacuum pole, or more commonly known as a telescopic pole. These poles are 8 foot. They are adjustable so that you can extend them to the desired length that you want when cleaning your pool. And by the way, all these items that we've already talked about in the video, your brush, your net, your vacuum heads, all these items will attach to this pole. Everything in the swimming pool industry is universal when it comes to connecting all cleaning equipment to your telescopic pole. Next on the list is a vacuum hose. Everyone's going to need a vacuum hose in order to vacuum their pool, and vacuum hoses are typically 1.5 inches in size, and they do come in different lengths. They start at 25 foot and then go in 5 foot increments, typically all the way to 50 foot for residential pools. If you have a commercial pool, they do make longer vacuum hoses. They even make different sizes, but for most of us, we're going to be dealing with 1.5 inches. And when we look at a vacuum hose, we have one end that is stationary, and this is the end that the vacuum plate is going to hook to, and I'll explain this later, but the vacuum plate hooks to the stationary end so we don't suck air when we vacuum. And if we turn the vacuum hose around and we look, we have a swivel end on the other side of the vacuum hose, and that is designed to be attached to the vacuum head. And the reason why we have a swivel on the vacuum head is so as we vacuum, we're not having the hose get tangled or coiled while we're cleaning the pool. It is very important when selecting your vacuum hose that you do get the right length. So you have to make sure you know the size of the pool, and then you want to see where your skimmer is in relation to the farthest point of the pool. We also have to consider if your pool is shallow or if it's diving. So you want to make sure that you do get the right length hose when vacuuming your pool. So for those of you that have a difficult pool related problem or a question and you want to work with me one-on-one, the best and the fastest way to get in contact with me is book a phone session, and I will have a link down below for you to do so, and I'll be glad to help. So now let's talk about vacuum plates. What is a vacuum plate? There's a lot of different vacuum plates, and I'm holding up a vacuum plate for an in-ground pool. This is pretty common. Here's another one here. They look different, but they do the same thing. And when picking out your vacuum plate, it is very important to know the type of skimmer you have, because not one vacuum plate fits all skimmers. They are unique to the skimmer that you have on your pool. For an example, these are in-ground vacuum plates, and here I have a couple above ground vacuum plates. The principle and the concept is the same, but as you can see, they are different. We have to make sure we know the skimmer we have to get the right vacuum plate when we vacuum the pool. So for an example, when vacuuming a pool manually, we're using the vacuum plate. It is attached on the solid end of our vacuum hose. And then this is going to be the basket that's in your skimmer. So on a side view, what we have is the vacuum plate goes over the basket as such. This way we're trapping all the dirt and debris in the basket, and we're not allowing all that trash and debris to go back through the skimmer line and potentially clogging the skimmer. So it is very important to use a vacuum plate when vacuuming a pool. Last but not least, we have what's called a leaf eater. Now, leaf eaters are not used on a daily basis, but if you get a lot of debris or a lot of leaves in your pool, then it's an essential to have a leaf eater when cleaning your pool if it gets really dirty. And what this is designed to do is you attach your pole here, you hook your garden hose here, and as you move this around on the bottom of the pool, it is putting up all the leaves and the large debris into a net where you'll be able to take it out and empty and clean the net. This is going to allow you to clean a pool that is really dirty and leaf infested much quicker than a traditional vacuum. So I would say you're not a pool owner unless you own one of these, because everybody gets leaves from time to time, and if you get a lot of them, this is what you want to use. So I went ahead and posted some of my recommendations for the maintenance equipment to include the leaf eater down below. And for those of you that have made it this far into the video, check out this video, the top 5 mistakes made when vacuuming your pool. There are so many of you making these mistakes and you don't even realize it. So this is a video you definitely want to check out. As always, remember, it's at Hallmark Pool Supplies. My name is Mark, and I thank you for watching.